Jai Gurudev. Anita ji, shall we start?
Yes, Hema. You do the mala first.
24 and 25. Okay.
Right. Right.
Yes. And then 26, I'll start off, Anita ji.
Yes, you read the Sanskrit and I'll read the English, right?
Yes. Right. Jai Gurudev. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Chapter 5, Sloka 24. Yonta Sukhontara Ramaha Tathantarjyotirevayaha Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhutodhigacchati Labhante Brahma Nirvanam Rushaya Kshina Kalmashaha Chinnai Dvaithaya Tatmanaha Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha. We will move on to 26th sloka of chapter 5. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam Yatinam Yata Chetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmanam. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam Yatinam Yata Chetasam Abhito Brahma Nirvanam Vartate Viditatmanam. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Disciplined men, freed from desire and anger, who have disciplined their thoughts and have realized the self, find eternal freedom in divine consciousness everywhere. It should be noticed that verse 24 promises eternal liberation through yoga. That verse 25 promises it through Sankhya, and that this verse translates the same promise of eternal liberation into the terms of renunciation. The sequence of these three verses mirrors the sequence of the theme of chapter 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Thus, Sri Krishna Bhagavan brings completeness to the philosophy of renunciation. This verse describes a man in eternal freedom. He is disciplined because he is established in the knowledge of reality, which gives him a clear understanding of the state of renunciation, or the separation that lies between the self and activity. By gaining that state, he is freed from desire and anger and has disciplined his thoughts. He has realized the self, for he is permanently established in the pure state of being or self-consciousness. He has gained cosmic consciousness. Thus established in divine consciousness, he finds eternal freedom everywhere. The state described in this verse is higher than described in verse 23, for it has arisen out of the destruction of sins and the dispelling of doubts specified in verse 25. Verse 23 presented a happy man in union with the divine as one who is able to resist the excitement born of desire and anger. This implies that it is still possible for the excitement of desire and anger to bubble up in such a happy man united with the divine, but that he will not be able to resist this excitement. The present verse shows that those who have disciplined their thoughts and have realized the self are freed from any possibility of the excitement of desire and anger arising in them. Such men, fulfillment, live eternal freedom in divine consciousness. Who have disciplined their thoughts. A disciplined thought is that which is in harmony with the process of evolution of the thinker and of everything around him. It is in accordance with all the laws of nature. When during meditation the mind gains the state of transcendental divine consciousness, it becomes the basis of all laws of nature that govern the process of evolution on every level of creation. On coming out into the field of relative life, its thought naturally receive the support of all laws of nature. Therefore, have disciplined their thought means living the being in daily life. It does not mean controlling thoughts. Everywhere means during the life here on earth and hereafter. Arjuna is shown that to become liberated, it is not necessary to die or leave the body. If one has known the self and the mind is inseparably established in it, if the self is appreciated as separate from activity, then whatever desire or anger arise, the self remains completely uninvolved and therefore free from them. This is how, when the mind is disciplined in terms of the self, it remains unconcerned with all activity, even the activity of desire or anger. Naturally, in such a state, a man is liberated during his lifetime, here on earth, and subsequently after death. It may be recalled that a disciplined life, freedom from desire and anger, discipline of thoughts, and realization of the self are achieved by both yoga and sankhya. Therefore, it may be inferred from this verse that yoga and sankhya are the same so far as these results are concerned. This inference is in keeping with verses 4 and 5, which present the purpose of this chapter. This verse, together with the three previous verses, establishes the possibility of divine life in the world either through the practice of yoga or the wisdom of Sankhya. In the following verse, Sri Krishna Bhagavan brings a precise description of the practice which leads a man to achieve the state of cosmic consciousness, Jivan Mukti, during his lifetime. This will complete the teaching of the chapter and will provide a sound basis for the wisdom of chapter 6. Jai Gurudev. So, To give the main points of this verse 26, there are very clear indications given in the verse itself, which says, disciplined men freed from desire and anger. Now, we have already read that eternal liberation through yoga in verse 24 and through Sankhya in verse 25. In this verse 26, we see how we describe a man in eternal freedom. He is a man who is disciplined because he is established in the knowledge of reality, which gives him clear understanding of the state of renunciation, of the separation that lies between the self and activity. By gaining this state, he is free from desire and anger and disciplined his thought that he is gained now the state of cosmic consciousness. So, a disciplined man is who? A disciplined man is that man who has understood the reality of life. He is in the pure state of being and finds eternal freedom everywhere. The second point to understand is disciplined thought is one which is in harmony with the process of evolution, and it is in accordance with the laws of nature. We see that during meditation, mind gains that state of transcendental divine consciousness. Even when you are then on the relative field, it has the support of all laws of nature. So it means that living the being not means that you control the thoughts. So we've understood two important points. That is one, who is a disciplined man and what is discipline? The third point here is if one knows self and mind is inseparably established in it, then the self is appreciated as separate from activity. Then, whatever desire or anger arise, self remains uninvolved. And this is how mind is disciplined in terms of self. So when the mind is disciplined in terms of self, then whatever desire or anger arise, self remains uninvolved. And the fourth important point is in disciplined life, freedom from desire and anger, discipline of thoughts and realization of self is achieved both by yoga and Sankhya. Because we have to know the knowledge as well as the experience. The scientific research on this says disciplined men freed from desire and anger, who have disciplined their thoughts and have realized the self, these individuals have increased self-discipline, enhanced inner well-being, increased inner calm and tranquility, increased contentment, and increased self-actualization. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev Anitaji, thank you. Shall we move on to verse 27?
Yes, Hema, if somebody wants to ask a question or Claire, or is it clear to you people? Then it's okay. You can continue. Otherwise, wait, pause for a minute.
Yes, Hemaji. Any questions, please?
Yes, Hema, you continue then.
Yes, Anitaji, thank you. So we will move on to verse 27 now. स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यान् चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यान् चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ. Having left external contacts outside with the vision within the eyebrows, having balanced the ingoing and outgoing breaths that flow through the nostrils, the first point is that the attention has to shift away from the external field of sensory perception. Having left external contacts outside means closing the gates of the senses to any outside experience and at the same time not thinking about objects of sensory impression. The second point is that the vision is within the eyebrows. This means that vision is directed outwards from within the eyebrows. It is directed from behind the eyebrows, and this is done with closed eyes. It is the most relaxed and effortless state of the ocular muscles. It is shooting to the entire system and also has the simultaneous effect of leaving external contacts outside and balancing the ingoing and outgoing breaths. This point has been widely misunderstood and the verse misinterpreted as advocating concentration of the vision between the eyebrows. Such a practice may have its value in other systems which depend on effort. Concentrating the vision in this manner involves great strain even with the eyes closed. Such a practice has no place in the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches a simple and effortless method. The third point is that a state of balance should be established between the outward and inward breaths. This balance means that they should flow evenly and should cease flowing in alternating directions, finally coming to a state of suspension. There are many ways of accomplishing these three aims. In some practices, control of the senses predominates, in others, control of thought, in others, control of breath. But the practice to which Sri Krishna Bhagwan refers in this verse is one which works on all these aspects simultaneously and results in the state described in the following verse. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev Hema, thank you. Now this verse 27 gives a very interesting points for us to know, because there are different ways we have to reach the same goal, but the ways can be different, and some do it by shifting away from the sensory perception, and they close all the gates of senses that they do not experience anything that's happening outside the objects of sensory impressions. The other set believe within the eyebrows, that means everything flows from within, it comes out. And this may be very good as some feel, because it is with closed eyes. Here, ocular muscles mean the muscles of your eyes. They may be relaxed and effortless because you have closed your eyes, and also you have no effect of the external contacts, and you're maintaining that balance of the breath, you're ingoing and exhaling and inhaling. But sometimes this has been misunderstood. How? Because concentrating may bring about strain. And we do not believe in this system of any stress on strain or concentrating. In transcendental meditation, we go at the subtler levels effortlessly, not with concentration. The other point is that some people balance it with the inward and outward stroke. So all these three systems or the ways of accomplishing the aim, it is the same. But the system that we follow in transcendental meditation is that the breath itself goes down, the respiratory system itself takes rest, because we go through the mantra at the subtler levels, and we also move towards the transcendence only. But our way of doing meditation is described now in the next two verses. So the main points here to get is there may be different ways of doing that, but we do not believe in concentration, because our system of meditation, transcendental meditation, is effortless, natural, and simple. Jai Gurudev. The scientific research, however, on verse 27 says, having balanced the ingoing and outgoing breaths that flow through the nostrils, this is those who practice transcendental meditation showed a natural decrease in the volume of respiration. Now, we have seen out of the scientific research that there is a natural change in the respiration volume. There is periodical natural breath suspension. There is decreased tidal volume. There is decreased minute ventilation, decreased metabolic rate, decreased oxygen consumption, and decreased carbon dioxide elimination. So with this, we see how our system of transcendental meditation, it naturally changes in respiration value, and the other system also, aim may be the same, but the way is different, and our system does not at all believe in concentration and contemplation. Thank you. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Anitaji. Any queries or questions, please?
Hema, since Sunita is not here, you may please ask Pooja, or you can continue to read verse 28 as well. I will
Yes.
do verse 29, right?
Yes, Anitaji, I shall do. Pooja ji, do you want to do or shall I do? I don't think she's traveling, I suppose.
That's okay. Then you can continue, Hema.
Yes, Anitaji, I'll do it.
Hima ji, you carry on.
Okay, Pooja,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja ji. I'll read 28 then. So now we will move on to verse 28. Yatendriya mano buddhihi munirmoksha parayanaha vigate bhaya krodho yaha sada mukta eva saha yatendriya mano buddhihi munirmoksha parayanaha Vigatecha bhaya krodho yaha sada mukta eva saha. The sage whose senses, mind, and intellect are controlled, whose aim is liberation, from whom desire, fear, and anger have departed, is indeed forever free. Senses, mind, and intellect are controlled by having known him who is beyond the intellect, whose aim is liberation, means that all his efforts are directed one pointedly towards liberation. He follows unansweringly the sure path trodden by the ancient seekers of liberation. The whole routine of his life is dedicated to the practice of meditation and balanced activity. As a result of this constant practice, he becomes quite naturally free from desire, fear, and anger. From whom desire, fear, and anger have departed indicates that he has not done anything to drive them away. They have of themselves departed from him. The present verse describes an even more perfect state of realization than that portrayed in verse 26. There, the expression freed from desire and anger indicates that a man has abandoned them. The expression in the present verse, from whom desire, fear, and anger have departed, indicates that they have abandoned him. The reason is that he has arrived at a state where the self is experienced as separate from activity, and thus he finds himself indeed forever free. This is the state of perfect renunciation that is gained in cosmic consciousness. Here is the fulfillment of philosophy of renunciation. Everything has been separated from the self, which has gained in liberation a perfect state of non-attachment. This apparently marks the peak of renunciation. But the question arises, is this all that the philosophy of renunciation can offer? If it is, then the philosophy is not complete, because an existence aloof from everything could not possibly be the fulfillment of life. This anxious inquiry is answered in the next verse, which provides for the desired fulfillment of life and shows that fulfillment to be real pinnacle of the philosophy of renunciation. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Hima. Now this is a very beautiful verse 28, and here we get so much to know that who is a sage whose senses and mind and intellect are all controlled. He's aiming at liberation. And liberation from what? Liberation from desire, fear, and anger. Now, there are two ways. One way is we ourselves make ourselves free from desire, fear, and anger. And the other is you become so established in self that anger, fear themselves go away because you are in the state of pure consciousness. You are in the state of fulfillment of the philosophy of renunciation. Before I go further, I think it would be very important for us to know what exactly is renunciation. Because again and again, this term comes, so we must have a clear picture of what it is. Now, renunciation is not life denying, it is life enabling. We don't deny in life, we take it. But how we control it, it is not turning away from the present for more significant future. Renunciation is not giving up action, but it give up the impending forces that retard action. So renunciation is preventing the clutter which is inside us. Renunciation helps us to dispose of all that stress and strain we carry with us. Renunciation is not giving up things that are dear to you, but to appreciate far more fulfilling avenues of enjoyment. For example, here I can give a child, he loves to play with his toys initially. But as he grows, he may not now like to play with his toys. He likes to play with the mobile or with computer. So renunciation is not giving up things. It is to appreciate far more fulfilling avenues of enjoyment. It is also not seclusion. It is life of inclusion, weeding out that comes in our way to fulfillment of life. So, if we understand renunciation like this, which opens the doors of realization, then we see that what exactly we are reading in the verse 28. So, there may be many paths of renunciation, of actions, of karma sannyasas, or detachment, the Karam Yoga, everything goes and reaches the same goal. The person who, even while living in the world, remains out of it, ever free, then he is a jnani because now he has renounced, but even by renouncing, he is still in the world of all objects because it does not affect him. He has purified his soul, conquered his mind, and subdued his senses. He sees himself in all beings. He is not tarnished even while acting. So, in order to understand this verse 28, we must first understand what exactly renunciation is. And in doing that, we also come to the conclusion that renunciation leads to happiness. It gives us the ability to withstand the forces of desire. Desire and anger do arise. We do not do away with them. But renunciation gives us the ability, the vision to withstand the forces of desire and anger. The scientific research of this verse is indeed very, very interesting. It says, whose senses, mind, and intellect are controlled, whose aim is liberation, from whom desire, fear, and anger have departed, is indeed forever free. This verse is verified by scientific research through Maharishi Transcendental Meditation, which gives us increased ability to attend to details, increased mental clarity and wakefulness, improved problem-saving ability, increased self-actualization, and decreased anxiety and anger. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Anitaji. Any
So,
questions, please?
So I hope, yes, Hema, if you would like to know, or anybody else, I don't know who all are there. Let me check. And
any queries, please?
Yes, Hima, you can continue.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Because I think it's rather clear.
Yeah, it's clear, Anitaji. It's clear.
So if you want to know more, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can continue, Hima.
Yes, Anitaji. We will move on to verse 29. भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसाम् सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसाम् सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति चेकुते
Having known me as the enjoyer of yajnas and austerities, as the great Shri Krishna Bhavan of all the world, as a friend of all beings, he attains to peace. Here is the real glory of renunciation. It discovers the great enjoyer. It develops into union with God, me, whose birth and actions are divine, who am the refuge of those freed from attachment, fear, and anger, unto whose being have come those purified by austerity of wisdom, who show men favor in the same manner as they approach me, who am the author of the fourfold order of creation, yet remain the non-doer, immutable, whom actions do not involve, and whom man, without longing for the fruit of action, knowledge of whom liberates men from the bondage of action. Yajnas, actions supporting life and evolution, these have been dealt with detail in chapter 4, verses 24 to 33. Austerities, means of purification. The performance of yajna is also considered to be austerity. Verse 10 of chapter 4 describe the wisdom in terms of austerity, purified by which one participates in the consciousness of the Supreme. Having known me as the enjoyer of yajnas and austerities, he sees me as accepting his yajna and austerity, having separated himself from the field of activity. His activity has been given over to nature, which is Shri Krishna Bhagwan's. This is why Shri Krishna Bhagwan says, having known me as the enjoyer of yajnas and austerities, having known me as the great Shri Krishna Bhagwan of all the world, having raised his consciousness to the level of my consciousness, that is, having attained God consciousness. Knowledge of God is possible only when one has reached the state of God consciousness. This has been made clear in the commentary of verse 38 of chapter 4. As the friend of all beings, a friend is the source of joy. He brings life-supporting happiness. The purpose of Shri Krishna Bhagwan's creation is the expansion of happiness. Men enjoy his love expressed in creation, each at his own level of consciousness. This is how the great Shri Krishna Bhagwan of all the world is also the life-supporting friend, the bestower of happiness on all beings. One who knows him thus and finds himself close to him gains fulfillment. He attains to peace, says Shri Krishna Bhagwan, so that Arjuna's mind may not escape from the present realities of life to the abstract conception of a far distant friend of all beings, so that he can see the great Shri Krishna Bhagwan of all the world close at hand, speaking to him. Shri Krishna Bhagwan shows that he himself is that Lord. It is only because of Arjuna's complete surrender that he reveals himself so completely. This chapter, which lays open the wisdom of the renunciation of action, ends with the exposition of the divine nature of Sri Krishna Bhagwan, so full, so friendly, and peaceful. This is the glory of the wisdom of renunciation that is uniquely the Bhagavad Gita. It does not leave a man in dry detachment, barren and without support. It carries renunciation to direct realization of the supreme authority, the supreme good, the supreme happiness that are found in rising to the level of the Godhead, to direct communion with God. This humanly inconceivable accomplishment in man's life is the blessing of renunciation. Here is Sri Krishna Bhagwan's invitation to humankind. Enter the kingdom of heaven through the path of action or through the path of renunciation of action. Make your choice. With this, that's in the Upanishad of the glories of Bhagavad Gita is the science of the absolute. In the scripture of the yoga, in the dialogue between Shri Krishna Bhagwan and Arjuna, ends the fifth chapter entitled The Yoga of Action and Renunciation of Action, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Jai Gurudev. Well, to go about here about the main points, we have seen how the development has taken place, moving from one step to the other, and how we are slowly and steadily moving towards God consciousness. Here, Krishna Bhagwan is been said to have taken with us as a great friend. He is the one who is always trying to be the source of joy. He is bringing all supporting happiness because even Maharishi has said in one of his quotes, we have come to the world. The creation is there for the expansion of happiness. So how does we have this expansion of happiness? This is expressed in the creation in one's own level of consciousness. Because when we attain that level of consciousness and when we are established in self, we are established in pure consciousness, we have here, as Krishna Bhagavan says, we enter into the kingdom of heaven. And what is the kingdom of heaven? That is inside us through the path of action or through the path of renunciation. So here Krishna Bhagwan gives us the great feeling of moving upwards, and we move on towards God consciousness. And it is only possible that we do it through transcendental meditation technique, which our great Maharishi Ji is the founder and he has given us, because all other things we have discussed of yagyas in the previous chapter about the austerities, the means of purification. So in this 29th verse, we now move on to the renunciation, to the direct realization of the supreme authority, the supreme good, the supreme happiness that is found in the rising level of direct communion with God. And this is not possible humanly. It is only possible here, as Sri Krishna Bhagavan says, when we enter into the kingdom of heaven through the path of action or through the path of renunciation. The scientific research on this verse says, having known me as the enjoyer of yagyas and austerities, as the great of all the world, as a friend of all beings, he attains peace. That means that you attain the calmness, because the individuals who practice transcendental meditation technique showed significant increase resistance through everything during practice, and in contrast to the controls, they showed greater calmness, greater tranquility, increased contentment, increased happiness, and greater physiological calmness during task performance. There has been enhanced inner well-being. Why there has been enhanced in well-being? Because we have been regular in our practice, in our program of transcendental meditation. And when we are regular in that, we achieve that inner well-being. And that is how Shri Krishna Bhagavan says that the kingdom of heaven, through the path of action or through the path of renunciation, we enter into that and we make a choice how we are going to move to the higher states of consciousness. So, with this, we close or complete the chapter, the fifth. And here, if you would like, I can give you a short summary of chapter 5th, which says, here in chapter 5th, Arjuna asked Sri Krishna Bhagwan whether the path of renunciation or the path of action is better for him. Sri Krishna Bhagwan says, both paths are good, but the path of Karma Yoga is direct. Both the path of renunciation and action both lead to the self if practiced deeply. That means practice deeply means with devotion. Self at the core of all beings is the same. Everybody has the same self. So what we have to gather here is the two paths that lead to the same place and involve both action and gaining understanding alike. So Arjuna meant to seek through yoga of action while seeking the self through renunciation of knowledge. Why through yoga of action Arjuna did? Because Sri Krishna Bhagavan has said the action that he is doing is also the action of renunciation. He can take both paths. He can take the path of action or he can take the path of renunciation. So therefore, we understand by this chapter that Shri Krishna Bhagavan says that both path of renunciation and path of action, both are going to the same goal, to the same thing, but the path of direct Karma Yoga is easier and better. Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Anita ji. That was very clear for us. Fifth chapter, and now we understand. Like slowly, as you said, we are moving to God consciousness. It's clear now. When we have seen the first chapter, like it was all like Arjuna, we were in the state of Arjuna's mind, and now slowly, even we have understood. Yes, this is what we need to do. When we start practicing, we will slowly reach God consciousness. So transcendental meditation, which was given by our Maharishi Ji, is really a bhandagar for us, and it is helping us a lot. So when we practice meditation, it leads us to our goal, that is reaching the Almighty. Thank you, Anita ji. Any
So,
queries or questions?
so this is a very, very important chapter, fifth, which gives us the basis to the next chapter six, which will be starting next week. And here the current sannyasa is very clearly mentioned. And what I really liked here most is that there is so much of clarity about how we move on in our life. And we feel all that gratitude to Maharishi Ji for giving us that beautiful technique of transcendental meditation, where we find that we can reach that level of consciousness much easier and much faster. And what a lovely technique, which is so effortless, so simple, so natural, and moves us towards greater happiness and peace. Thank you, I think we can say thanks to Maharishi for
Yes,
giving us this
yes,
technique.
Anita ji. Yeah, that's true. It's very, very simple technique, just closing eyes, and really it's working also.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So we can now, if there are no questions and we've ended this chapter, we can ask Manishi to do the Pran, or whatever you call it, the
Parayan.
reading of Pran. And you will be doing, or Panditji will
I
be?
request our Pandits to Panditji, can you please recite the whole chapter once?
Tell him that we have the time, and also since it's the ending of the chapter, so he can do the prana of the whole chapter. It will be very interesting. We'll
Yes,
all listen.
yes, Anita ji. Manish ji, Ghanshyam ji, I think one of you can do the complete chapter.
कोई नहीं है बिंदु?
They were there here only. Ghanshyam ji, Jai Gurudev, Ghanshyam ji.
जय गुरुदेव दीदी।
Manish ji, you can do the complete chapter of chapter 5.
जी दीदी।
पहले से कीजिए आप, कंप्लीट
जी
चैप्टर
जी
कीजिए।
जी जी।
थैंक यू मनीष जी।
धन्यवाद दीदी। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवत् गीते भवद्वेषिणी। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः। ओम कर्म संन्यास योग। श्री अर्जुन उवाच ओम संन्यासं कर्मणा कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च संसते यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्। श्रीभगवान् उवाच संन्यासः कर्मयोगश्च निःश्रेयस्करावुभौ तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते। ज्ञेयः सा नित्यसंन्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते। सांख्ययोगौ प्रतः बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमभ्यास्थितः सम्यग् उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्। यत्साङ्ख्यै प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते। एकं सांख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति। संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमाप्तुमयो गतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्मा न चिरेणाधिगच्छति। योगयुक्तो विशुद्धात्मा विजितात्मा जितेन्द्रियः सर्वभूतात्मभूतात्मा कुर्वन्नपि न लिप्यते। नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्वितः। पश्यन् श्रवन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्नन् गच्छन् स्वपन् श्वसन् प्रलपन् विश्वजन् गृह्णन् इन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि। इन्द्रियाणेन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन् ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि सङ्घं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा। कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्घं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये। युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम्। अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते। सर्वकर्माणि मनसा संन्यास्यास्ते सुखं वशी। नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्। न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजते प्रभुः। न कर्मफल संयोगं स्वभावास्तु प्रवर्तते। न दत्ते कस्यचित् पापं नैचैव सुकृतं विभुः। अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः। ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं येषां नाश्रितमात्मनः। तेषाम् आदित्यवन् ज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम्। तद्बुद्ध्यस्तदात्मानस्तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्ति पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः। विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे कविहस्तिनि। सुनचैव स्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः। इहैव तेर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः। निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः न प्रह्यस्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य न द्वेजेत् प्राप्य च प्रियम् स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः बाह्यस्पर्शे स्वतत्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत् सुखम् स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते एषंस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयो नव एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय नातेषु रमते बुधः शक्नोति हैव या सोढुं प्राक्शरी विमोक्षणात् कामक्रोधोद्भवं वेगं स युक्ता स सुखी नरः योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरत्रात्मस्तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगे ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ऋषया शीलकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः कामक्रोधवियुक्तानां यतीनां यतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं वर्तते विदतात्मनाम् स्पंसां कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्याश्चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समो कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनो बुद्धिर्मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम पंचमोऽध्यायः। श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु। जय गुरुदेव।
धन्यवाद मनीष जी, धन्यवाद। Very nice recitation. Anita ji.
In case Pooja, you like to say something about this verse? Is Pooja joined?
Pooja ji has left, I suppose. She's
Okay.
not.
So, Zahima, would you like to share something about Ram Mandir? You were saying it would be very interesting to do that today.
Yes, Anita ji.
Okay.
Jai Gurudev. It's my privilege to share this Rama's Lal Rama, Bala Rama. Like it so happened that my father, he was invited for Ram Mandir, that Sthapana, that inauguration of Bala Rama, and the idol where they went, it was so beautiful. Like each and everybody had that as if Rama is really present there. Everyone had that in their mind. Everybody, if they were asking others, if anyone is asking, what is your experience? Everybody started saying it is like Rama himself is there. So that's the beauty of that place, and they have a very good experience of like the arrangements or how they were treating Swamijis. The invitation was given personally to Swamijis, and that shows that still, even after so many years, after yugas, we are remembering Sri Rama, Lord Sri Rama. That is because of the Sanatana Dharma. We have the culture we are still following in India, and that is India, where that Punya Bhumi, which we are there. And during that particular day, January 22nd, I personally feel that we are also there when Sri Rama came, and we are there, we are alive. That is what I feel. We are blessed for that. And it's really, which is beyond words, to have, to be an Indian, and also to be at that moment when Rama has come. When Rama has come, and in that Ayodhya place, we are blessed to be in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Bindu. Thank you so much. Because we all have not been, so we can only so far find out from others how they felt and their experiences. And that makes us feel very happy. And we delight in others' enjoyment. If
Yes.
others have felt nice, it gives us itself a feeling of great blissfulness, whether we have been there or not. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
And I'm sure your father is blessed to be there in
We are
one
all
of the.
blessed. We are all
And
blessed.
well,
And
so,
one more
um,
beauty is like, not only of the other generation, the people who are elder to us. I was talking to the who are younger to me also, even to the children also whom I know. They, when they see that Rama's idea, Bala Rama's idol, they were saying he is looking like a small child for him, for them. And that really made me, yes, that's the greatness of Sri Rama. Like, they, in their own words, he's looking so cute, it seems. That was really making me happy. So everybody's, irrespective of the age, everyone have their own experience of that Sri Rama's idol, which really made me so happy, and it's surprising for us. That is the beauty of our Sanatana Dharma, I feel. Lord Sri Rama, Jai Sri Ram. Jai.
and 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 if you remember, Himaji explained so beautifully to us the Sanatan Dharma. And
Yes,
she gave us all those 10 points, which I don't think I remember many of them, but I remember very clearly that she explained so beautifully to us what exactly that means. And that's how at least I came to know. And that is indeed very nice. And it gives us that feeling. And you see, I can also share one point at the moment here
yes,
is that when I was in Holland, we were given the Rama currency. I have still those coins. Sometimes I feel I do not know why they have not come in the limelight, because it was Maharishi who had this Ram currency in Holland,
okay,
and we were very fortunate to receive few coins given by Brahmachari Grishji to all of us who had gone there,
okay.
and I have valued them so much. I've kept them in my locker,
That's
and and, and they are going to be there under my will, that who will get these Rama coins, irrespective of what cost it is,
yeah,
but the currency. So you see, I'm talking about uh, when did Maharishi make this currency? And of course, today we all are talking about Rama, Rama, and agreed. But imagine Maharishi spoke when?
long,
When did he make this coin, this currency,
yeah,
this everything? So I think in a very quiet way, we owe a lot in that internal, like they say, how it works internally in you. And now the manifestation in Lord Rama is come in Ayodhya. But you see, all these small, small things were with us. And I feel very delighted today to share with you that I have the Rama currency with kind courtesy of our chairman. Ji, who had given us these Rama currency in Holland. And we value it so much. I wonder if you knew that.
Yeah, yes. I only you just now I came to know that this currencies have come to you, and that means Rama has already come long, long
Yeah,
ago.
I think Maharishi gave us Rama
Yes,
before only. So
yes,
now it's come. So we are one of those fortunate ones that all of us who had been that time,
yes.
and it's great for me to share that I have okay, next time if I get an opportunity, I will get those coins and I'll show you on
Yeah,
the
yes,
screen,
Anita ji,
right?
you can say yes.
It will be
Jai
nice.
Gurudev, Alsin ji, can we ask Alsin ji also to come on to video? Kansham ji, Manish ji, you can also share your experience.
जी दीदी, जय गुरुदेव। मेरा उतने समय दीदी स्क्रीन काम नहीं कर रहा था मोबाइल का। मैं कोशिश कर रहा था जुड़ने की, बट
ठीक है, बोल दीजिए, ऑडियो से बोल दीजिए आपका एक्सपीरियंस।
जी दीदी, किस विषय में?
जिस विषय में आप बोलना चाहते हैं,
जी दीदी,
ध्यान
अभी
के
जो है
विषय
तो
में, राम के विषय में, ध्यान के विषय में, यही दो विषय हैं हमारे पास अभी।
जी दीदी, जो 22 जनवरी को अयोध्या में राम मंदिर की जो प्रतिष्ठा हुई है, भगवान श्री राम जी 500 वर्षों के बाद में फिर से रामलला जो है तो आकर के विराजमान हुए हैं। तो यानी कि ये बहुत अच्छा जो है तो वहाँ पर सारे भक्त लोग जो है तो जा रहे हैं, दर्शन कर रहे हैं। और इससे हमारे जो है तो सनातन धर्म में बहुत ज़्यादा यानी कि लोग जो है चाह रहे थे, बहुत लोगों की ऐसी इच्छा थी। और बहुत यानी कि कोशिश है, बहुत विपक्ष लोग जो है तो उसमें उन्होंने यानी कि वो किया, वो विरोध किया उस चीज़ का। मगर जो है तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इसके लिए जो है तो, और भी कई लोग, भक्त लोगों ने जो है तो भगवान आकर के विराजे। तो इसलिए आनंद की जो है तो लहर है, खुशी है, बहुत प्रसन्नता है हम सबको।
चलो, बहुत अच्छा घनश्याम जी,
धन्यवाद घनश्याम जी।
जरूर धन्यवाद। Who else is here? Hema is there.
Alsin ma'am is Alsin ji. We have seen her on video
But she
before.
doesn't come on. I've never seen her on this.
Today only I came to see her. I happened to see her. It's okay. मनीष जी, आप कुछ बोलेंगे? मनीष भैया जी, ठीक।
Anyways, Hema, it's 8:54.
Okay,
So
Anita ji.
we would close now.
Yes.
And since nobody has any questions, and we say Jai Gurudev, as Hema ji has asked us to say Jai Gurudev to Maharishi.
Yes.
And thank you
घनश्याम
to
जी,
all of you
yeah,
for
शांति
joining.
पट,
हाँ, शांति पाठ करेंगे. And a very special thank to Pooja, because Pooja was very busy and yet she joined
she
and
joined and
she
displayed.
helped us. Yeah. Thank you, Pooja, a lot, Jai Gurudev. And now we can have Shanti Path. Thank you.
घनश्याम भैया जी, शांति
जी
पट।
जी दीदी, जय गुरुदेव। हरि ओम ओम द्यो शांतिरंतरिक्षगुं शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरोषधयः शांति वनस्पतयः शांतिर्विश्वे देवाः शांति ब्रह्म शांति सर्वगुं शांति शांतिरेव शांति श्यामा शांतिरेधि जतो यतः समीहसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः पूर्वराजाभ्यो भयं नः पशुभ्यः। ॐ सुशान्तिर्भवतु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय गुरुदेव।
जय गुरुदेव। धन्यवाद घनश्याम भैया जी। धन्यवाद to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you Anita
Okay,
ji.
Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
जय गुरुदेव।
Hema, we close the meeting, okay?
Yes, Anita ji. Jai Gurudev.
Who does it? I don't know who does it. Whoever does
I
it,
shall do it, otherwise I'll do
okay,
it.
please do it because I have no clue of this.
Yes, Santa.
Thank you.
Jai
Okay.
Gurudev to all of you, and thank you so much.